All right. So, welcome. You are now talking to
Hi.
an audience of Norwegians, Jocelyn.
Yay!
um,
Hello, hello.
I'm I am here with Jocelyn Pennywell. She's an actress, director, producer, model, realtor. She has an extensive experience with work and life in general, and I would like her to share some of these experiences with us here in Norway.
Yes, so like you said, thank you for the introduction. Like you said, I'm Jocelyn Pennywell. A lot of people know me from television. I did America's Next Top Model. And now I still do some things in the entertainment industry, but I'm more of a realtor and a wife and a mom. And I'm pregnant now as well. so, yeah, very, a lot of things I have going on. But family is definitely number one. Um, I'm very glad to be here to share my life journey and I was actually raised in the South. So yeah, I'm in America, but I was raised in Louisiana in a very quaint little village called Lucky. Yes, it's a real place. Lucky, Louisiana. I was lucky to get out of there. But but it's so funny when I was young, my mother told me when I was about 13, she said, You're gonna model. And she had a small little vision board for me. And she clipped a Jet magazine tear sheet on the vision board, and she said, You're going to tour the country with this, with Ebony Fashion Fair. And cut 2 years later, she was right. I did. I toured with Ebony Fashion Fair. I did over 200 runway fashion shows. So before I was even 20, I was able to visit every state in the United States. We went to the Bahamas, we went to Canada. So I was truly blessed to be able to, be well, a little well traveled at such a young age. Um, I did graduate college. I have my bachelor's in business, my master's in criminal justice. Um, and I graduated from Grambling State University, which in the United States we call Grambling an HBCU, and it's called a historically Black college or university. So a majority of the students that attend Grambling State University are African American, like me. But we do have, people from everywhere that attend there, but it's still considered to be an HBCU, especially with the history behind it. Um, it was very important for me to go to a historically Black college because my whole family went there. It was a tradition. My dad went there, my mother went there, my grandparents went there, so I felt like it was only appropriate for me to graduate from there. Um, cut to after graduating, I had the opportunity to be on America's Next Top Model. Now, you guys, I've already explained to you the importance of, especially parents, speaking positivity and speaking, what you want for your kids and your loved ones into their life. Like my mother already was like, this is what you're going to do, and I'm going to put it on your vision board. These things are very important in life, especially to me because I've seen them to work. Um, and I once America's Next Top Model came about and they had like the first season and I watched it, I was like, this is my opportunity to show the world that I can model. I can, and I get to meet Tyra Banks because she was my role model. I actually, on my vision board, had a small picture of her as well. So I wanted to basically kill two birds with one stone. Y'all, I auditioned. Y'all is my Southern thing. If y'all pick that up, I auditioned over 33 times for America's Next Top Model. Yes, you heard right. I auditioned over 33 times. Y'all, every season I went to multiple auditions to be on this show because I was like, I have to get on this show. I was very persistent. I didn't give up because I knew that this was something that I really wanted. Um, And lo and behold, right when I was about to graduate with my bachelor's, I made it onto the show. And it was truly, the audition process was different. Um, it was just meant to be, basically. So after I shot that show, I decided it was time for me to move because there is not many modeling opportunities in Louisiana at all. So I jumped in my car with my dog and I drove to California. And I have been here ever since. I'm still in Cali. And I absolutely love it. I met my husband here. I'm, having my babies here. And all that to say is when you have a dream and you have goals, you do have to go after them. And you know, it may seem impossible to figure out those ways of how can I make this happen? What can I do? And that's something I feel like a lot of people put with America is that there's so many opportunities, and there are a lot of opportunities, but I feel like there's opportunities in a lot of other countries as well. It's just being in the right place or the right city to get it done. So, if you create your goals and what it is that you want to do, then you have to put forth that effort to make sure that you go and get it. Now, I'm not going to say that it was easy, growing
Yes,
up in the
I
South.
love that you're touching on
Yeah.
dreams because
Hmm.
we here in Norway, we study in books the American dream. What is the
Hmm.
American dream for you, and how close do you think you are to it? And what would you, on top of everything that you have gone through, would say is a recipe for succeeding?
My American dream is to just be happy, to have my family, to be surrounded by my loved ones, and to be able to give my family and my children everything that they need to thrive. So at the end of the day, what is life without people you love? What is life without having someone to share it with? So some people may have these, and I used to have those, like, I just want to be, famous and known and blah, blah, blah. But it's like so many people that are famous and lonely and in pain. So it's like you really want to find out what you really, really desire. You don't want to have to work. You want to be able to have you want to be able to, like, when I say work, you don't want to go to a job that you hate. You want to go to a job that you love, that you enjoy. And as they say, when you find a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So it's about finding those passions, those things that you absolutely love. And for me, the thing that drives me and motivates me the most is my family. Yeah. So, American Dream, what is it without love and people to share it with? It doesn't matter where it's at,
Yes, that's
America
perfect. That's
or
perfect because
anywhere.
we have, like you said about the United States, there is this idea that if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. You will go and
Oh,
you will be
mhm,
rich. But then there are steps that you have to take to get to
mhm,
that dream. Now, I want to talk about African American history in the US and where Black Americans are now. We have seen a lot on TV here about Black Lives Matter. We have a lot of us are up to date on the trials that have just gone on, the Kyle Rittenhouse, and recently those three
right.
guys in Florida were found guilty. Yay! So I
Yeah.
want you to talk about this from your perspective.
From my perspective, I'm not gonna lie. Me being raised in the South. I've always experienced racism. So that's not something I'm not really the best person to touch on it because I literally, like, we had segregated proms until my senior year. I graduated in 2003. And I remember going to our principal and asking him, "Can we integrate our proms?" And he said, "No way. We're not paying for the Black kids' prom." And I was like, "Well, if you don't, everyone has to pay. And if they don't pay, it doesn't matter whether you're Black or white. You can't come." Like, and he was like, "No, we don't. No, we're not doing it." So it's just so many things that I experienced, and because I'm a Black girl, it was tougher, and I I see it all the time, and I feel like we took a giant leap forward when we had President Barack Obama, but then we took 50 steps back with with our last president. This is my opinion. Everyone is entitled to theirs, but this is how I felt, um, and how I still feel, because, and it's not to say, I mean, maybe he did some okay things. I don't know. One thing I do know is that it stirred up more racism. That's what I saw, you know, and that's what I continue to see. And it's just heartbreaking. And it's even more heartbreaking when you have children and all you want them to do is to be able to go and play with people and not feel like, okay, my son goes and hangs out with kids of other ethnicities, but because he's black, if the police stop them, he's the one that could end up getting shot or getting killed, you know? And even with the cow situation, a black boy would have never made it to trial if he was carrying a gun around, and the fact that he made it to trial and then they let him go for killing people, it's it's sad, it's disturbing. And so many people feel like, oh, he was defending himself. This would not be the same outcome if he was black. And that's the problem. That's the problem that we have today, and especially in this country. Their morals are not they're just not in a good place, for in my opinion. So I just pray for change. I do. I'm pregnant with my son, so I pray for change. you know we all just got to pray for it, basically.
Yeah, what we see on TV sometimes
Hmm.
can be very scary
Oh,
and
absolutely.
discouraging to people because a lot of some of my kids will say, "No, I don't think I want to go to America because I don't want to be walking down the street and get shot." And I keep telling them, what you see on TV is a slice of what's happening. You
Hmm.
can have a perfectly normal, even uneventful life
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
United
Oh,
States and never
absolutely.
see any of this. Can you talk about this life in America as in everyday life and how things really are compared to what we see on TV?
Well, life in general is what you make it. So, for me personally, I've always maintained positivity. It's a lot of things that I have not been introduced to that a lot of people have experienced that are horrible, and those are things I haven't had to deal with. I'm blessed with family. I'm blessed, with a roof over my head. I'm blessed with, you know, food in my tummy, so, but it's so many people in this country. Oh my God, if you guys came to California, you would be like, what is going on? It's so many homeless people here. The streets are lined with tents and broken down RVs and people just living on the streets. And it actually got worse in the pandemic. So, seeing that is heartbreaking. Like, it's so heartbreaking because it's kind of like, well, what is the country doing for its people? And do I feel like this country is selfish? Absolutely. Every man for themselves in this country is how I feel. Um, which is why me and my husband really love giving back. Like, we have a nonprofit organization and we love doing charitable work. And
Yeah, I
those are
want you
things
to
that fuel
explain to
us.
my kids what
Hmm.
does nonprofit organization mean because they are very good at English, but there are
Hmm.
certain things that they are not completely familiar with. Could you talk about that?
So a nonprofit organization, which in the States, there are a lot of nonprofit organizations, and these are organizations that come in and offer some type of assistance to people who are in need. So let's say with the nonprofit that me and my husband have, we offer shoes and volunteering and mentorship and scholarships to kids to go to college. So it's certain things that we offer, but other nonprofits offer different things, like American Red Cross. They offer assistance when someone experiences a natural disaster and they're put out of their home. So every nonprofit is different. And basically, you get donors, people with money who give you money to do good for the community. Um, but most of our work is done out of our pocket. We don't have many huge donors. Everything is comes out of our personal pocket normally, but it's still so rewarding. It's rewarding to be able to give when you know that there are so many people in need. And that's what we need more of. The only thing about it is in this country, a lot of people aren't about giving anything of themselves. They're more about receiving and trying to find ways to, capitalize off of everything else. So I feel like we as a country need to do better with helping others.
Yeah, that's perfect. It gives them a broader view of
Hmm.
things. And you've done work producing, directing, and acting. Can you talk about this?
Yes. Well, I've been blessed to come up with like creative ideas and work with some amazing talent here in California, where I've written and produced films, mostly short films, and it's exciting. It's a lot of fun to be able to work behind the camera, but also in front of the camera. I've always worked in front of the camera, so and normally it's stills. So when I got into acting, it was a lot more exciting because I get to show off, more of my personality and this Southern accent. but but it's very exciting to be able to be creative and turn that into a film is very rewarding. So, it's just another one of those things where I was like, this is something that I love and I have a passion for, and I'm going to go and do it. And that's what I do. I go if it's something that's on my heart, I go and do it.
Now, you had some experiences with reality shows. Which one was your favorite, and which one was your least favorite or most difficult to work in?
Well, let me be frank. I have actually experienced a reality show scam before, where this guy was acting like he was doing his own reality show and he wasn't, and that was this huge scam. Dateline did this whole story on it. So there are a lot of people out there that prey on your dreams. So just make sure that you're not, like I know a lot of models who, well, people who want to model. They're like, I want to model, and they go and spend thousands of dollars. They pay for all this expensive stuff. You guys, you don't have to do that. Like if you want to model, all you need is some photos, and you take them to an agency, and cell phones these days take great photos. So as long as you can take good photos, you can go and model. You don't have to pay anybody or give yourself to somebody or do something that's out of your character to reach your goals and dreams. Yet so many people feel like that, and that's not what you have to do. I know out here, that's what I was saying. It's kind of like a dog eat dog in the entertainment world. And most people do not succeed out here when you get into the entertainment industry because it's so many people that want to do it. It's a very tough industry. And most people who do end up succeeding, they stuck with it over 10 years normally, So it's just like you have to have a strong backbone to be in an industry like this. And it's not only an industry like this, it's a lot of like competitive careers. So if you desire to be in anything competitive, you have to understand that there are going to be some people who are going to try to steal your throne, or take away, or not or not support you, but try to, take it away. So make sure you have a strong backbone, because in the entertainment industry, you have to, because I've gotten so many no's. I've gotten a million no's, but I got a couple of yeses, and those are what helps me, to be who I am. I succeed to my level. I accept every opportunity I get as a blessing.
Yeah, I remember watching you on
Mhm.
America's Next Top Model, and your perseverance was something that was it was remarkable for us to see how you never gave up, and you did a tremendous job on the show, and you won challenges, and you did amazing. Do you still keep in touch with some of the people that you were on the show with?
um The ones like McKee who won my season and Isis are the ones that I would say I would pick up a phone and text or message, but it's not frequent, you know, because we're all doing our own thing, you know. But at the same time, I know that I can message them and say how you're doing and see how they're doing, and they'll be like, "Hey," you know. So it's a good, you know, it's a good place that we're at. But it's like we're not hanging out or anything all the time. Well, Isis, I've, you know, went to lunch a couple times with, but yeah, but it's not like all the time type thing. But they are,
So,
you know,
yeah, this is
we had a season of some great girls, and we had some bad girls, you know. It's in every scenario.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to show the kids flashes of your participation in the show. And
Okay.
I especially like the fashion show when you won the challenge,
Oh,
the
thank
runway.
you.
I thought that was brilliant because I've always been watching the show and feeling represented by the
Hmm.
people of color on the show that did a good job and portray themselves with dignity and
Oh,
positivity, and you were definitely one of them.
oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
So it's been lovely having this talk with
Definitely.
you. I
Definitely.
want to thank you, and the kids will be delighted to learn so much from you. You have
Okay.
added an enormous amount of information that we can't just find in books
Hmm.
from somebody that has lived through.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I will,
And I
I want
agree. And at
to,
the end of the day, maybe y'all need to take a field trip, the ones that haven't been able to come. Maybe they should come down here and see firsthand. I mean, everything is what you make of it though. You know, I'm American, so I'm definitely not bashing it. But one thing about it is that everything has its pros and cons, and you have to figure out in life what direction you want to go down. And you know, if you maintain negativity, you'll go down a negative road. If you maintain positivity, you'll go down a positive road. It's as simple as that.
yes, absolutely. I lived in the US as a child and then
Mm-hmm.
went back to Brazil and then went back to finish high school. And I have
Oh,
a million positive experiences to talk about. And
see?
this is what I want to show
Yeah.
people. So thank you so much for
You're
being a
welcome,
part of this.
love.
And we'll stay
Anytime.
in touch. And
Yeah, and if you have any more questions, let me know. If your students have any questions, let me know. I would gladly share my opinion. It's all my opinion, but I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Bye.